YouTube. This is where we coming in into 2021, guys. This is the capital, Washington, D.C. This is Washington, D.C., guys. You let me know your thoughts. I'm just going to hold here for a little bit here so you guys get a little breaking news here. House and Senate recess as mob storms Capitol. Right now, I got helicopters over me, and I'm in the Capitol too, guys. Salem, Oregon. So we barricaded the door that we're in right now and trying to follow those orders that we were given. But we are here where we are. We aren't hearing some of the commotion that I am seeing by following this. But I do sense, because things are so chaotic before we hunker down, that this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for the Capitol Police to restore order today. So this, I don't see this being resolved.
I have breaking news on that point. Kayleigh McEnany, the president's press secretary, is sharing on Twitter that the National Guard is on the way. Here's what she's tweeting. At President Donald Trump's direction, the National Guard is on the way along with other federal protective services. We reiterate President Trump's call against violence and to remain peaceful. James Hohmann, I found out that news, though, not from the President of the United States or his spokesperson, but from a member of Congress. Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin was tweeting out before that the National Guard troops had been approved. She was sharing that she talked to Mark Milley, the Joint Chiefs of Staff chairman, and that the National Guard troops had been approved and were in coordination with D.C. law enforcement in order to restore order.
And Slotkin used to work in the Pentagon.
Yep.
She's a Democratic congresswoman from Michigan, and knows a lot of the folks over there. And and that is a reflection of how a lot of these members are taking it into their own hands. And you're obviously seeing, as you mentioned a couple minutes ago, Libby, the Virginia governor get engaged, deploying state troopers, and there's a lot of reporting. Trump obviously has been somewhat hesitant to take a firmer stand. So often his view has been you're either with him or against him, and if you're with him, he's okay with you. And that's how some of the worst gaffes of the president, or worst moments of the presidency, the very fine people on both sides gaffe in Charlottesville. It wasn't a gaffe. I don't know what the right term for it was, but Trump had to be pushed pretty hard by staff to agree to this forceful response. And we still haven't seen it. We're still waiting.
I mean, James, time has been lost.
A lot of time has been lost.
Hours have gone by now since a mob breached the United States Capitol, broke in. Hours have been lost.
And it really does, the idea of the president stewing at the White House, and he's angry at Mike Pence for not doing something that he can't do. It does, I hate to use this analogy, but it's almost like Nero watching Rome burn. This is the executive is watching the legislature, watching this mayhem, and still hasn't done anything effectively to stop it. And that really is, this is Trump's legacy. This is the end of the Trump era. This is how he will be remembered. I think that the fact that a lot of Republican lawmakers are directly affected by this is going to make his, whatever idea he might have of a 2024 comeback all the harder. I think that this could end up being a moment that forces a break, and that it kind of gets people, with the idea that Trump, the Trump era is over. And so I think that there's a very high chance that this whole episode ends up backfiring on the president in ways that some of the other stuff he's done over the last 4 years never has.
Okay, guys, and with that, I'm going to leave you guys on that note, and you put your comments down for this 2020 year.
Reached the Capitol on Wednesday